The red flags was real big, and I was ignoring every single one of those big old red flags. I mean, they was waving right in my face, and I was like for real, bro, like straight trying to overlook the red flag, but it's in my face, bro. It's waving, it's windy outside, and it's a field of them. It's a field of red flags, and I'm trying to look around all them red flags.
Tell it all every Tuesday with Lonn.
Yo, what is the word, man? Welcome to another edition of Tell It All. It's Tuesday, bro. This is number 7, you feel me? Like, come on now, the consistency. But this is the first part of this relationship series, and the subtitle of it is Trust and Relationships. You feel me? I'm no expert, but I've been through some things. Getting straight into it, bro. I'm definitely not finna take all y'all time. I recorded some just recently, like I just recorded some. I know y'all don't really care that much to hear like every single small detail of everything that went on in my life. We'll get there one day, but not in the tell it all, you feel me? Maybe in the testimonies. Maybe. But I'm finna dive straight into it. So just to get like some validation on who I am and where I come from in this whole relationship realm. Like I said, I'm no expert. I just been through some things, and I'm just hoping and praying that my experiences save you from going through the same things that I had to go through and live through and suffer through. So first thing first, bro, like way back then, I was not a husband. I was not him. So with that being said, I was in relationships and having different women on the side within those relationships. It's not cool. I don't take pride in it. I don't glorify it. Like I said, bro, like, I mean, it's a lot of stuff in my past that I wish I could just go back, bro, and just hit the delete button. But obviously we can't do that. So my first serious relationship was when I was, I think, a sophomore in high school. So I'm dealing with this female, bro. I'm not necessarily caring what she doing for real. Whole time, come to find out, she wasn't necessarily doing anything up into the conclusion of the relationship, which really didn't matter anyway because we both was hanging on by a ledge. Like I think I made mention, but that was like 2 or 3 years dealing with that same female. And so over the course of this relationship, like never going there with her, but giving myself to other women, like over and over again within a relationship, with them knowing what's going on and going as far as to like catching buses and like confessing to me that they just want her out the picture so they can have their shot. And that just being so crazy to me, bro. And I'm only bringing this up just to show you, like, I really was like that. Like, it was really like that. Because this thing that God blessed me with, that got these lips and these teeth and this tongue, like this stuff dangerous for real when I open it up and I really get to, like, using that and then using this too. It's a force to be reckoned with. And again, it's not to glorify. I know it sounds comical, but it's facts, bro. Like, it's my life. I know I ain't no Prince Charming, bro. I ain't the type to just pull no female off my looks. Like, I gotta use my mouth. So with the type of experiences and women that I done had, it's validated for sure. And again, it's not to glorify it because that just sounded like real arrogant and like, no, bro, it's straight ain't it ain't none of that. You feel me? No, for real. So long story short, bro, that was like the start of my experience with trust and relationships and everything else. Cause I'm sure this female probably trusted me with all of her, but I was on some whole other stuff. Fast forward the conclusion of that relationship, I get into another relationship that turns out to last 4 years. Within that relationship, it was only one time that I confessed to my wrongdoing when it comes to giving myself away to another woman. And that led to a year later, that woman doing the same thing to me that I did to her. So mind you, at this point in time, like, we doing the whole breakup to makeup thing. Every time we do the breakup, or taking break, the taking a break thing. Every time we would take a break, this female would run back to her ex, and I ignored the fact of that because every time that I was doing whatever dirt that I was doing in the midst of the break, I'd come back like, all right, I'm ready to take you back now. And it'd just be raps for that situation. And that's actually gonna be important. So highlight that and wait to the end, bro. And we gonna unpack like why that's so vital into like where I am now. And just to pause, like where I am right now, I'm in a relationship, bro, that is the most peaceful relationship that I've ever been in. God is the center of it. He is the foundation. I got a P31, bro. Like, by no means are neither one of us perfect. But when I met her, she wasn't rooted in God. And now, like, you can't pull her away from him. Like, it don't matter if I leave her today. Like, she's still gonna be rooted in God. Like, that's who we fear, that's who we love, that's who we confide in. And that's who keeps us. So with this relationship being how it is, going on a year next month, like I would say like God, he faithful, bro, and he really did his big one, because I don't feel like I'm worthy of even having a relationship like that, but he still seen fit, like despite all the wrong that I've done, to still bless me with this. But to unpause, bro, and get back into it, like this relationship, bro, that I'm in, I told you she go back to the ex. So we do the whole break. In a break that she caused with a coworker. So whole time, like, it's the same thing with me, because my situation, I was dealing with this person in the midst of the relationship. Obviously, she was dealing with this person in the midst of the relationship, and then decided to give herself away to another man. So it was like that, you reap what you sow, for real. And that was like my first experience in that, because out of all the wrong I've done, like I started like speaking life into something so ignorant, bro. Basically saying like my wife, from all the wrong that I done, my wife will gonna mess around and give herself to another man. That was not exactly the words that I used, but like I spoke that into existence, and it happened. And that relationship only lasted for 2 more years before I fell back into the same cycle of messing with another female, bro. And honestly, bro, at the conclusion of this relationship, I'm finna unpack it now. So at the conclusion of this relationship, I call a break because I need to work on myself. Whole time it's because I'm dealing with another female. It wasn't until that this female that I was with for these 4 years discovered that is when she ran back into the same cycle. Mind you, bro, like the last time we did the whole break, the makeup thing, like it was 3 years since I believe she dealt with an ex in between like a break. May have been 2 years prior to. You know how much like gotta be going on within your mind, like thinking about the same person over and over again, for you to, even after 2 years, run back to the same person. And this time what I did, because I was tired like of repeating a cycle, and I knew what I did was gonna come back to me. And I made the vow to God that if I cheat on her one more time, bro, like, God, please take her from me. because I obviously don't deserve her after that. Yes, I had a relationship with God, even in the midst of me doing wrong. I want to highlight that, bro. Like, you don't have to be perfect to have a relationship with God. Like, he will meet you where you are. And the more like I sit back and reflect on my life is the more like I actually see, like, bro, God was right there with me. Like, despite all my flaws and all my wrongs, like he still called me his son. And he still kept me, bro. Like, that's major for real. So what I did at the conclusion, knowing that stuff was gonna come back to me and everything else, like I said, she started dealing with the ex again. And instead of like pulling her back in and like, yeah, you go ahead and put the clips on that, what I did was I let this woman go. It can be so hard to let something that you used to go. But when it's toxic, it's burning a hole in your heart. It's taking away your peace, because although like I forgave her for what she did, I did forgive her. I ain't mean to put the quotes. Although I forgave her for what she did, forgetting it was never gonna happen. So I'm dealing with the mental thing that a man gotta deal with when another man done had his woman. And I'm dealing with this for like 2 years, and I'm suffering through it. I'm getting through it, bro, because this is who I want to be with. Like, despite the wrong she did, she told me a lot of women ain't real enough to even tell you when they doing wrong. So that spoke volumes to me, and I did it to her, and I was doing it to her. So I just felt like I was just getting what I deserved. So that's why that lasted for another 2 years after she did that and told me and everything else. But yeah, bro, like I was saying though, like I let her go. I realized like the source of my issues in my life with as far as relationships, like, yeah, maybe I did have a desire to marry her at one point in time, but how is that marriage gonna look? Like, let's be real, bro. Like, for the majority of our relationship, we've been dealing with different people in between it, like knowing and unknowingly, because for you to go back to something that you had all these years ago, like we've been dealing with each other for 4 years, and your first instinct is to run back to where you was before me. Like, that marriage, it was gonna be like that in the back of the mind, bro. It was just gonna be there, and God knew this. So I mean, he answered my prayers, but all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. It just worked together for my good, for real. Like, despite my wrong, the wrong that I did, that I own, because that didn't last long, because I ended up choosing that female over her, which was like that fuel for me to let her go. That didn't last long because that female wasn't nobody to be with. And this led to another relationship, me dealing with a female for a year, her having this close relationship with her ex, me having my suspicions, me knowing that she not really all that. Like, I'm not trying to sound arrogant, I'm not trying to put nobody down, bro. But at this point in time in my life, when I decided to get in a relationship with this female, I was tired of being alone. And I just wanted like that picture perfect relationship. Like, on the outside, yeah, I mean, I guess the picture, it looked cool, bro. It didn't look bad, I guess. But the only thing that kept me in that relationship was the soul tie. And whole time, bro, like, it wasn't revealed to me until the end of that relationship that I was basically being cheated on the whole time, which I was just being ignorant too, for real, because like, game peep game. I told God that I'm not cheating on another woman. It's a vow that I made to him and myself that I still haven't broken at all. Like, for real, bro. Like, and I've been through some situations since the end of that relationship. But after that relationship, even though it was toxic, I'm speaking on the 4-year relationship. Even though it was toxic and it needed to end, it still hurt me that was the way it ended, because bruh, I got a heart at the end of the day. My intentions is never to hurt nobody. And that inflicted a whole bunch of hurt in that person's life. And I hope and pray like they move forward from it, and it don't like hinder them from future relationships. But like I really felt bad for that, bro. So at that point in time, like I made a vow to myself. I don't necessarily know if I made it to God, but I made a vow to myself that I never cheat on another woman. So fast forward back to this relationship with this female who was cheating on me with her ex for the year. So yeah, that's going on. And I actually want to go back to the 4-year relationship one more time, and then I'm gonna leave that where it's at, and we could proceed so I can conclude this, because I'm being long-winded. I done already told this story in another format, so I'm trying to get through it as quickly as possible, and it still turned out long. So bear with me. So in a 4-year relationship, when that female did what she did, with who she did it with and everything else, that was like the first time that I've developed any type of trust issues within a relationship. Prior to, mind you, bro, I'm going bananas out here in these streets. I'm doing whatever with whoever, and no remorse. Not caring what they feel about it, what they doing prior to, afterwards, none of that. I don't care. But when this female told me what she did, like that shook me, bro. That was like a veil being ripped off my eyes for real, and me being exposed to something that I've never experienced before. And what comes with trust issues? A whole bunch of hurt, paranoia, like you can't maneuver without thinking that somebody is trying to do something to harm you in some type of way, shape, or form, which is not an okay way to live your life, bro. Like, fast forward to the female that I was dealing with for a year that cheated on me with her ex, probably through the whole relationship. It's neither here nor there. But a lot of stuff that's going on here was going on in the 4-year relationship leading up until like every time that we took a break and stuff went wrong. But I was just ignoring it. And the lesson behind that is, bro, like, don't ignore the signs. At this point in time in society, like the red flags was real big, and I was ignoring every single one of those big old red flags. I mean, they was waving right in my face, and I was like, for real, bro, like straight trying to overlook the red flag, but it's in my face, bro. It's waving. It's windy. It's windy outside, and it's a field of them. It's a field of red flags, and I'm trying to look around all them red flags. That's what I was doing in that relationship. So how that is affecting and impacting me now currently, I told y'all where I'm at. I'm completely content where I am. I'm grateful for the woman God blessed me with, and I can't wait to one day marry this woman. You feel me? And now the trust issues that I've developed from those past relationships are now affecting me with somebody who did not put that pain on me, who did not betray me in that way. So the whole point of me even bringing this stuff up about trust in relationships is, one, know who you dealing with and don't ignore what that is. All these breaks, and this female kept running back to her ex. Completely ignored it. At the end of our relationship, who did she end up dealing with? The ex. Yes, I was wrong in the end, but look at the cycle. Like, look at the cycles in a relationship. Like, it's never okay to just be giving yourself to anybody outside of the covenant of marriage. Period. But you doing this like while you in a relationship and it's over, and you and the woman that you dealing with doing it back and forth, or you and the man that you dealing with doing it back and forth, like tit for tat. That's never okay, bro. It's never okay. Because we know that when you become one with somebody, you develop a bond. Now you got a bond with somebody who you probably don't even like, you don't want to be like, don't want to deal with. Skip over all that, bro. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, like, looking at hindsight, like, I didn't ran that count up, and I'm not proud of it, bro. If I could take every single body back, I'd snatch it, because now I know my value. Now I know who I am. I know who I am in Christ. I know who he created me to be. So the gist of what I'm getting at, trust in a relationship is always difficult when your past is so full of like untrustworthy activity. You reap what you sow at the end of every single day. So you keep doing people wrong, but eventually you gonna get done wrong. And it will come back. It's going to come back to you. Trust and believe, like I'm a living testament. But you don't want your life to be no reflection of something negative. So right now, today, bro, like you got the opportunity, the decision to make, like within your relationship, like letting go of 4 years, dealing with somebody, bro, that was not no easy task. Yes, God threw the oop with the other individual being there to like be my support after I let that go. But bro, like whole time, all I needed was him. If I would have just leaned on God from the point of that relationship ending, ain't no telling how far I'd be. Cause that was like almost 4 years ago. Dang, that was 4 years ago? That was not 4 years ago. That was like that was maybe 3 years ago. That was 3 years ago. Going on, 3 years ago. Today, actually. Yeah, that was, dang, that is crazy as a mug. And look how, goodness gracious. That was 3 years ago. On this day exactly, March 12th, like that was the day that all that stuff straight ended. And I don't know what else to say. I forgot what I was saying because that was mind blowing to me. I'm just stunned right now because that's crazy as I promise you I didn't think about that before I started recording. Even in the last recording, I didn't think about that. Be vigilant and know what you're getting yourself into. Know what you are already in. Confide in the Lord and he will guide your steps. Submit yourself to him and the sky is literally the limit. I know we all probably had like our head bumps when it comes to relationships and everything else. But my encouragement to you is, like, don't hold back the wisdom that you gain. Like, you see somebody else going through something that you went through in a relationship, pull that person like to the side, bro, and keep feeding in their ear truth until like they receive it, because the seeds that you planted one day that will harvest. If you plant a seed, it will harvest. But if you never tell a person like what God brought you from, they will never, like, they may get it from somebody else, but just imagine, like, you could have changed, you could have been responsible for being a vessel to change the trajectory of that person's whole life. And that's what we here for, bro, to encourage that change and inspire that change. And my inspiration to the change within y'all lives, bro, when it comes to this trust in these relationships, it is okay to trust again. It is okay to love again. You got scars on your heart because you were living a life that was outside of God. Know now that you rooted in him. The person that you're dealing with is rooted in him. Someone who receives the same convictions as you, who has the same morals and principles as you. And then God will not allow you to just treat his son or his daughter any type of way. He will do whatever he can to pull them out of that situation. Trust and believe. I didn't seen it done. Like, I'm talking about relationships that I thought would never end, no matter how bad and rough they got. Like, they just kept muscling through. And it's because, like, when you dealing with somebody, bruh, and when God is not aligned with what God has for their life or for your life, He will separate the two. And that is why you don't have to worry about trust in a relationship. Just be rooted in God. And yeah, bro, man, that's my time. I feel like I done already overstepped and overdid it. That was a lot, bro. That was a lot. But I pray that it got through to y'all. I was very transparent, so please don't take it for granted. Tell a friend to tell a friend, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Yeah, man, I just pray it bless you. But until next week, love y'all.